It is time for the arrests of the traitors to begin. And a lot of people thought that Trump would not have the courage to invoke the Insurrection Act, but it looks like he is poised to do so. And once invoked, he could then issue military police arrests of all those who are actively engaged in an open insurrection against the United States government. And this is a law that was passed by Congress in 1807 and signed into law. And it's been on the books ever since, over 100 years. So who needs to be arrested? And you might wonder, well, why? Why do they need to be arrested? Well, first of all, these lawless leftists, and I'm talking about the left-wing federal judges, I'm talking about the state senators and legislators in places like California, New Jersey, New York, Illinois, and other places. These people have actively conspired to take part, and other people have as well, to take part in an attempted coup against the United States, the Russia collusion hoax against President Trump. But more importantly, at the state level, they've engaged in openly allowing voter fraud. They have engaged in the illegal protection, the complicity of protecting illegal aliens from deportation, including aliens who are violent criminal felons guilty of murder and rape and other crimes. So these state legislators are, in fact, complicit in criminal felony operations that have taken the lives of innocent Americans. At the same time, these governors and mayors who are engaged in these sanctuary city policies are, in effect, encouraging ongoing child trafficking, illegal drug trafficking, and the importation of terrorists through the open borders. And those terrorists are, of course, setting up terror cells across America, and they're waiting to be activated. This is all happening deliberately. This is a massive coordinated conspiracy to bring down the United States. And the left wants to, and is working toward attempting to roll out an authoritarian regime that would essentially nullify the First Amendment. Freedom of speech is already dead online. It would nullify the Second Amendment. These Democrats have promised to confiscate all guns owned by private citizens. It would nullify the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, and many other amendments as well. It would shred the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And it would criminalize Christians, criminalize conservative speech. They have attempted to have President Trump found guilty of treason by falsely claiming that he was working with the Russians, which is a completely false claim. And at the same time, these same leftists, including many CEOs of tech companies, have actively conspired with the communist Chinese to censor speech and to surveil people, both in China and in the United States. These tech giants have functioned as spy network operations, and they have violated federal laws, and they have violated human dignity and basic civil rights of the American people. They've done it deliberately. And I could go on. That's just the beginning. So if you ask the question, who needs to be arrested and tried for treason in America, it is a very long list. It's the governor of California. It's the state senators of California. It's the city councils of cities like Oakland, California, or San Francisco, or even some cities in New Mexico, Colorado, Oregon, Washington, Illinois, New Jersey, New York, and other places. All these people need to be arrested and tried for treason. They're waging a war against the United States. It's also Adam Schiff, it's Jerry Nadler, it's Maxine Waters, it's these people in Congress who have committed fraud to be elected, such as Tlaib, or whatever, however you pronounce her name, committed fraud about where she lived in order to get elected. It's the Hillary Clintons of the world. It's the DNC operatives. It's the deep state operatives, the James Comeys of the world, the John Brennans of the world, the Peter Strzoks, and so on. All of these people need to be arrested and tried with treason. Fortunately for America, there is a structure to accomplish that, a structure that is legal, a structure that has been enshrined in law for over a century, and it's called the Insurrection Act of 1807. Under the Insurrection Act, the president may deploy the National Guard and U.S. military troops. He may deploy the full force of the military to take down any uprising or active rebellion that threatens the United States government. You might ask yourself, are these radical leftists, are they engaged in a rebellion against the United States government? And the answer, of course, is yes, they are. They are trying to destroy this nation from within. They're trying to overrun this nation with illegal immigrants. They're trying to steal all elections with massive voter fraud by having illegals vote in the elections. They've tried to overthrow our president, and just on and on. They are actively engaged in treason and acts of war against America. A land invasion is an act of war. The attempts to disarm the American people so that the left can roll out an authoritarian police state where the people cannot fight back against tyranny, that is also an act of war against the people of America. These are acts of war that the leftists have carried out. And so they need to be stopped, but they need to be stopped through a means that is legal, that is authorized. And once again, fortunately, we have a mechanism for that. It's called our Commander-in-Chief. And so I'm calling on Trump today, once he declares this Insurrection Act / national emergency, there will be a judge, probably in Hawaii, who issues a decision that says this is overridden by the court. You cannot declare the Insurrection Act. I'm calling on President Trump to have that judge arrested by the military police, removed from office. And if there's another judge who issues the same stay, that judge should be arrested. Every judge that opposes the security of the United States should be arrested and tried with treason. And I'm not making a mistake. I didn't misspeak. Every one of them should be tried with treason, which means if found guilty, they would face the death penalty. It's time to get serious about defending our nation because we are dying. We are being shot at. We are being carjacked. Our women are being raped by these illegals. We're losing our republic. We're losing our liberties. We're losing our culture and our nation because of what these deranged, lawless leftists are doing. This is an act of national self-defense to invoke the Insurrection Act and to take down through a legal and lawful method to take down those who are trying to destroy or overthrow this country from within. It's time to get serious, and I believe Trump is serious. And I hope Trump knows that we, the American people, support his efforts, and we have no illusions about where this leads. No illusions whatsoever. This will not be a walk in the park, but we see what will happen if we don't fight back. We see that our First Amendment rights have already been stripped away. We have been slandered, defamed, demonized, economically sabotaged. We have been unfairly maligned. We have been suppressed. We have been deplatformed. Our elections have been stolen. We've been lied to and terrorized by the left-wing media. And it's time for it to stop. We, the people, are ready to join our Commander-in-Chief in fighting back against the enemies of America. We are not afraid to identify the enemies of America, the journo-terrorists, the CEOs of the tech giants, the radical left-wing members of Congress who are enemies of America, and so on. We're not afraid to name them. We're not afraid to call for their arrest. We're not afraid to fight, if necessary, under the orders of our Commander-in-Chief to defend this nation against those who are seeking to destroy it. We're not afraid to protect our borders. We're not afraid to call for the arrest of the deep state traitors who tried to carry out a political coup. We are past all of that. We're no longer afraid to speak the truth. We're no longer afraid to call for decisive legal action to take people out of power who have abused their power and who have misused their influence in the destruction of the nation that they swore to uphold and protect. Remember, every one of these leftists who is in office has taken an oath to uphold the United States Constitution, and they have violated that oath. And that, in a time of war, should earn them a charge of treason. So that's what must come down now. We've now reached this point where we either fight for America or we lose it. We either stand up for the principles of what this country means: freedom, individual liberty, the Bill of Rights, justice for all, due process, fair and free elections, but only votes by American citizens, all of these principles and much more. If we don't fight for these principles and support our commander-in-chief, we will be destroyed. I, for one, am not going to surrender to left-wing tyranny. I will defend my nation, and I will defend our president, and I will defend this republic. Join me. Support our efforts. Read my websites, newstarget.com, naturalnews.com. Hear more podcasts at brighteon.com. And I've also got a website, trump.news. You can read more there, trump.news. Thank you for listening. God bless America. Make America great again. And don't put up with any more attacks against this country from the enemies within. It's time to root them out. And as I say, root them out and boot them out. Thanks for listening. If you want to make it through these trying times, you're going to need full cognitive function. You're going to need your mental faculties. And there's no better way to achieve that than to turn to good nutrition, brain-supporting nutrition. That's what we offer at the Health Ranger store. We do more testing than any retailer in the world to make sure that you have the cleanest food in the world, because I believe that that's how we change the world. We change the world through clean food. We help people live better, think better, and we get better results in the world. It all starts with food and nutrition. Check it out. We have over 700 products now at healthrangerstore.com. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. If you want to support our mission, visit us at healthrangerstore.com for the world's largest selection of lab-verified superfood and nutritional products for healthy living. It's at healthrangerstore.com.